Welcome to another episode of It's a Long Road, the Rambo series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, of course, is Dominic. Dom, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, Ryan? I'm good. How's everything?
Things are going pretty good. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do have a few people that do actually watch the show on YouTube. We want to thank those people. Of the podcast that I do, the Rambo podcast, I want to say this Rambo podcast, Dom, of the few podcasts that I do, is actually the most popular podcast.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it is. I know. I don't want to talk about numbers or anything, and I don't know if Frank had anything to do with it. I could say maybe the numbers dropped when Frank got introduced. It's hard to say.
Probably.
But still, that being said, the Rambo podcast, and I'm proud of that, not because I'm just saying for the podcast to be doing as well as it does on all the platforms, on the audio feed, on the YouTube feed. I just want to thank everyone that supports the Rambo podcast. I'm sad that it's coming to an end, so we're going to continue to drag out with season 5 as best we can. We got a lot of stuff to cover before we get to the film. So again, if you hate the stuff before the film coverage, I would say skip ahead about another hour and then join us as we discuss Rambo 5 and his where are they? I gotta find them. Okay. I also want to say thanks for being patient as we took a break a little bit. I am, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that I'm in a different room. I am literally in a cement room in the country of Qatar. I can't say how long, and I won't say what I'm doing, but I'm here. That's really not a
Ryan,
secret.
do we get to win this time?
At this time, it's up to you, Dom. This time, it's up to you. I know. I got to put my Rambo gloves on, my Rambo glasses on, I should say. Okay. Anyways, it's really good to be here. I'm glad that the internet's not too bad, but if it is a little shoddy and what have you, it looks like it's doing okay. I know people are going to be disappointed to hear this. There is no Frank segment. I say again, there is no Frank segment. Just a little teeny one, like a little one. There's such a teeny Frank segment that it doesn't even warrant the opening and exiting songs. The reason being, guys, we worried about this. Now, I don't know if Frank watches our show. I just don't know. But boy, it's just the content is getting less and less by the Frankster. What's your thoughts, Dom?
Maybe he does watch it. Maybe he's trying to kill our podcast.
Why would he do such?
He doesn't like the coverage.
He's like like we're like a parasite on him, but to kill us, he's got to kill himself.
Let's be honest. Frank would never do. He'd never do that.
That's true. However, he hasn't been completely not posting on his Instagram, but he hasn't posted in 7 days. And the only thing he's posted since our last episode, which was over 2 weeks ago, think about that. Because the last thing we had was him wearing that silly scarf. Well, the only thing he's posted was his hunting trip to hunt for quail. That's it.
That's alarming.
Okay. It is alarming. So I'm going to share his Instagram right now, folks. And so people who are watching this on YouTube, we'll explain it for our listeners. So again, it was this picture here that we talked about. That was the last thing we talked about. The scarf saying "Be kind to everyone," and he looks like
last update from Frank Stallone. The final picture. More
pictures came. Oh, he did. Sorry, he did have this one video. This video is okay. It's not really worth showing. He's in like a cabin in the woods. It's a nice little cabin, and he walks around the cabin. It's very simple, your typical cabin. Nothing too like crazy. Just talks about the cabin, but throughout the video, he just keeps saying, "This is what it's all about. This is America. This is real."
An empty cabin.
Stove. Kitchen. Put your country when you're hanging your hat on his antlers, that deer. White-tailed elk.
It's always about the animals, Frank.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about. So he just talked about how in this hunting lodge is what it is, or hunting cabin, there are a couple of like dead deer or caribou with hats hanging on the horns that's hanging on the wall. So somebody killed an animal to hang its head on the wall so you could hang your hats on it. That's a trophy, literally a trophy. But we're going to get to a little bit of more hypocrisy here. Okay.
Yeah. There's a country house. Country people, Americans, good people.
So he says country house, country Americans, good people. The idea, again, that because you're out in the country, you're some was it bupkis or bumpkin?
Bumpkin, right?
That makes you a good American. Now, Don, you live in the city.
Uh-huh.
How terrible of an American are you?
Oh, I'm a terrible American.
Okay. I thought so.
Obviously.
Okay, so he posted that video, and then I just want to say, so he was at this hunting. It was called the 56. Remember we mentioned we hope he goes because he's practicing his shooting. It looks like the practicing at the range paid off. Why? Because Frank Stallone won first place in the singles and team competition in the 56th annual Grand National Quail Hunt in Enid, Oklahoma.
That deserves a round of applause. He's dressed in a very nice outfit as well, though. He's got the jacket.
Yeah, he says, it was a breath of fresh air to be surrounded by like-minded folks from around this great land that love this country and what it stood and still stands for freedom. Hashtag trap shooting.
How popular is that hashtag?
Well, no, hashtag quail. And then he tagged Donald and Eric Trump.
Nice. He was with some like-minded. He was with some like-minded piece of shit.
Yeah. Hey, no politics on our show, Dom. We have listeners who are Trump supporters. No politics, okay? Then the next picture is him with his feet next to the fire saying, at the end of the day, nothing says America like lying back on a comfortable couch with feet up, with your boots on, and your trusty Stetson in front of a fireplace. Okay? That's America for you, folks. He goes on to say, the heartland of this country are the heart and soul of our great land. I've always loved and cherished it. God bless this great land of ours. Hashtag tombstone. Hashtag peacemaker. Hashtag gunslinger. Okay.
He's still getting that tombstone. He's got to shout out to Tombstone.
And then he gives a product store supply, the Tractor Supply, hashtags them outside their store. And his last hashtag, or his last post, I should say, was almost 7 days ago. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Blessings to everyone around the world on this special day. When we show thanks and gratitude, a time to share laughs and connect with our friends and family and to show gratitude to what we have, no matter rich or poor or in between. Love and gratitude is free. I love you all. Now, look at this picture he's posted here, a Norman Rockwell painting.
Norman Rockwell, right?
Can you see it? Why are the faces all messed up? Was that done on purpose?
Yeah, what is that? I've never seen that one.
It's like it looks like AI created this Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, I wonder if he was searching Norman Rockwell paintings and he came across like an AI modified because look at
the faces look scary. Is that just me?
No, you're 100%. I didn't even notice that at first, honestly.
And look at the turkey. Is it human hands coming out of the roast? I don't.
He shared an AI Norman Rockwell picture.
I think he did. I think he shared an AI created Norman. I don't think it's a real Norman Rockwell painting.
That can't be. I think would
Norman Rockwell paint their faces like that? Would he paint their faces like that?
I don't think so. No.
Look at this old man neck here,
especially the little girl to the left.
Yeah, look at the girl's face.
Ooh, scary.
She looks like the girl from The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, this is typical Frank, though. Just he goes to share a Norman Rockwell picture, and this is what he shares.
Because look at this old man here. It looks like his ear is on his neck. See that?
How blind is Frank that he didn't notice this, though?
I wonder. He's 70-something years old. He might have, yeah. Ooh. See, this one looks normal.
That's the famous one.
I think that's the normal one there. Okay. Anyways, there you go. Frank Stallone. Okay, so that's it for the Frank Stallone segment. Oh, I want to say, remember the quail shooting and the dead animals in his room that he was praising?
Of course.
Do you remember about a month or two ago when he performed and was invited to perform at the event of the Last Chance for Animals? Do we recall this? Can I just read the last? He performed there at their event. Okay. And let me just read the last sentence of the Last Chance for Animals mission statement. Okay. Lest there be any doubt of what they stand for. Last Chance for Animals opposes the use of animals in food and clothing production, scientific experimentation, and entertainment, and promotes a cruelty-free lifestyle. And check this last part. And the ascription of rights to non-human beings. Now, what that means, ascription of rights, it basically means whatever the right you have as a human, animals should have it too.
Animals should.
Now, okay, keeping that in mind, animals should have the same right as you, Dom. Can I shoot you for fun?
But now, if the people that let him perform that day would have known the man he is, would they have like lynched him? Would they have drove him off stage?
Am I insane? You know what I mean? He literally is doing the very thing that they don't ascribe to.
Mhm.
I would suspect shooting quail and promoting the killing of animals to hang as trophies in your house to hang a hat on.
To be a hat hanger.
Again, the same rights you and I have. I don't think I want to be hanging on a wall so someone can hang their hat on my head on their wall, right?
Frank is
Anyways.
the definition of a hypocrite.
He is amazing. Frank, you are absolutely amazing. And we're hoping for more. That's it. No videos. That's it, guys. That's all we have for Frank. That's this is the end.
Yeah, I don't know.
How does that go?
This
all right.
You should play that version.
Yeah, we still have one more little piece of Frank stuff. It's Frank related. So I guess one of my faithful listeners, I didn't know this this person I knew listened to the show before. I won't say their name. And I also knew that they're a Trump supporter, which is fine. I believe they are. I could be wrong. And I'm not saying the person's name. It could be a guy. It could be a girl. I'll just say they as much as I can. They left a comment on my on my YouTube page. And the comment was basically saying, how dare us make fun of Frank? And saying that we were bullying. Literally said we were bullying. I can't say that word. We were being bullies to Frank.
We were being bullies.
Yeah, we were being bullies to Frank. Now, I don't agree. Okay, I do not agree. And they said further on their Facebook, and I will read this because they said, because they did mention that they deleted the post. So unfortunately, I can't quote their comment on, but it's worth discussing. And maybe people can let us know in emails or even on the comments or on the podcast, whether it's on Facebook or on our YouTube. The guy asked the question, is roasting a celebrity bullying? That was my question. Now, we got some good comments from that, okay, on our Facebook page. Now, the person did comment on there, and that's fine. I'm not calling this person out because maybe they are not alone. If people go to our Facebook, they can see who said this. That's fine because they said go ahead and just keep their name off the air. And I will. But some people are saying as long as you're not necessarily attacking. I like what Doug said from the Rocky Minute. He said it best. He goes, bullying takes place when someone picks on, harasses, assaults, or threatens a person. I think he probably found this. He found this online. It says bullying takes place when someone picks on, harasses, assaults, or threatens a person they see as weaker than them. So here's the thing. Frank is not weaker than us. He could probably beat us up. I'm not a very strong guy. We've said he's physically fit, right? And so he's certainly not, and he's definitely not weaker than us financially, and he's not weaker than us celebrity wise. So really what we call in the business here in podcasts, we're actually punching up. Does that make sense? We're punching up. We're not picking on the weak. Frank is not weak. So if this individual thinks we're bullying Frank, then they're saying that we are stronger than Frank and he is powerless against us. That's actually incorrect. And number two, he is a public figure. You cannot slander public figures. If you could, have you ever watched Saturday Night Live and how much they crap on Trump?
Right. Norm Macdonald used to crap on Frank Stallone all the time, as our intro shows.
Yes. Yeah. Norm Macdonald literally after the court said that OJ was innocent or not guilty, Norm Macdonald would literally say
to the point that he was fired. He was fired because of that. Pretty much.
Now, you can say, Ryan, you're not breaking any laws, sure, but you're still being mean. And I say, no. And this is where I'll say no. The reason being is because Frank, by all means, he can make a video about us. Make fun of us. Make fun of our stupid podcast that nobody listens to. Make fun of our stupid equipment or our stupid faces. Make fun of Dom's bald head. Totally fair. We make fun of Frank's bald head, and we might as well make fun of Dom.
Exactly. Right? So, and like you said, he's a public figure. He puts himself out there. He's famous. Right. That comes with being famous.
Yeah,
comes with the territory.
Or your mail carrier, or some taxi driver in New York. No, this is a celebrity, okay? And we're also taking the mick out of him. And we said the funny thing is we actually don't hate Frank.
I don't hate Frank. He brings me a lot of joy, Frank.
I don't hate him at all. We want the content to continue. We need more content. He is a blast to watch, and he's a blast to blast. Okay. And let's be honest, the things that he has said to the public on his Instagram has been atrocious. The things he says to people has been atrocious to actually the public, his fans even.
I would
Okay.
argue some of the stuff that comes in his comments out of his own mouth or fingertips is like more bullying, saying that people have fat back. Come on, can we not forget the fat back line?
No, he's absolutely. I've read some of the comments that he's deleted. He blocks people when he feels challenged. So to me, yeah, maybe he is weaker in that way because he can't take criticism and everything he says is correct. So yeah, maybe. Where I feel like it's okay to be wrong. All right. Woo. A short Frank segment, but I guess not. What do you think? Ready to move on?
I think I'm ready to move on.
All right. People in our comments are saying Frank could come back at you at any time, but it would just get you more attention. That's right. And that's right. He probably knows that. He probably knows. And maybe if he has seen our show. But then again, I agree with you, Donald. But he certainly isn't afraid to call out other people who challenge him on his Instagram. So I don't know. True. He's mentioned on his. Remember the guys that kept saying, "Who is this guy?" He addressed that issue.
Yes. How could we forget?
And him and Alex had to like spam delete everyone's comments that said, "Who is this guy?" Until they stopped doing it. All right, emails. We got some really. I know this is good stuff, guys. We actually have some really interesting emails that are going to add some good content before we get into the Rambo coverage. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So here's the first one. I'm not ready. Here's the first. It says, "Hi Ryan. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. It's a long road, the Rambo series podcast. As someone who loves film history and the arts, I find your show incredibly insightful." Does he listen to our show?
It's all the Frank Stallone stuff is insightful.
Now, I should say it's a he or she. I don't know. And I do apologize. This is where I do admit when you put in an email, like his or he or she, you don't, because the name is Jana, Jana. So it might be a foreign name, like a European name. So, but Jana, I don't know. That could be, honestly, that could be male or female. What do you think?
Yeah, I think either or.
But I'm guessing male only because, what
we're talking about on the show.
Well, yeah, like very few females, I think, listen to our show, quite frankly. Okay. Jana goes on to say, "I wanted to introduce you to an iconic figure whom I believe would be a perfect guest." So this is very kind. The person's name is George Stevens Jr., the distinguished writer, director, producer, and arts champion. Here are a few highlights of George. George achieved extraordinary 50-plus legacy on film, TV, and the arts. He's the founding director of the American Film Institute, created acclaimed programs like the Kennedy Center Honors and AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, directed historical films and miniseries like Separate But Equal, recently released a memoir, My Place in the Sun, about his career. George offers a wealth of perspectives and topics such as the golden age of Hollywood, his founding work at AFI in preserving America's film heritage, bringing prestige to arts and culture through the Kennedy Center, advising on arts policy in the Kennedy Center and the Obama administration. In the Kennedy and the Obama administrations. Insights from his acclaimed memoir and 6-decade career. He goes on to say, "I sincerely believe George would make a compelling guest. His experience at the intersection of film, arts, and public service is unparalleled." Yeah, I agree, but Jana, what do I do? How do I get this done? Jana says, "If you're interested in booking George, I'd be happy to coordinate details."
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
But what does George know about Frank Stallone? That's
why. Yeah, I know. Jana, do you listen? Does Jana listen to our show? You really want us to talk to this? No, look, I did look up George Stevens Jr. He is 91.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he could have another 10 years on the planet for all we know, people, but he might be one of those guys who, when they're old, they just keep going like Bill Shatner.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, Jana, I'm going to reach back to you. If you're listening to this before I reach back to you, please consider this. Yes, send us the deets. Let us know how. I don't know how you know George. Obviously, you do. That'd be amazing. And boy, we'd have many questions. And just let George know that they're all Frank centric.
He seems very overqualified, George.
You know what's funny? I will ask him, George, thoughts on Frank. Go. One sentence.
One word to describe Frank Stallone.
Would Frank Stallone end up at any of the 100 lists from AFI? Go. 100, the top 100 siblings of famous stars. Oh man, he'd probably be 98 after Liam. What's the guy's name? Liam.
Oh,
see who's the Thor character?
Thor, right? Why I'm drawing a blank right? Hemsworth.
Because we're not Yeah, Hemsworth. You know why? Yeah, so it's number 90, Liam Hemsworth, 91, Frank Stallone. All right. Okay, so that's a very awesome email. Thank you so much, Yana. Yes, I will be getting back to you for sure. But again, if I don't, by the time you hear this episode, please consider that our yes. Let's do it. Hi, Ryan and Dominic. This is from one of our Australian listeners, Peter. He said, I want to let you know that your Frank Stallone podcast, also known as the Rambo podcast. Oh boy, this is terrible. This might be why some of our numbers have gone down in season 5, or it's because Rambo 5 is thoroughly entertaining and endlessly hilarious. It's running out. Frank stopped posting. But he goes on to say, regarding Frank's, it only takes 3 hours a week to be in shape comment. Both you and Dominic are quite correct about the additional time it takes to prepare and recover from a workout. Speaking from my own experience of working out, keeping in mind I have a home gym, you need at least 15 minutes to change clothes, warm up, and set up the weights. Then the workout will typically take 45 minutes. And finally, an additional 30 minutes to pack up, wash up, and prepare for dinner. So all in all, I personally need at least 90 minutes for each workout 3 days a week, even though I have a home gym. So it does include travel time. He goes on to say, obviously, Frank is quite prejudicial and presumptuous against people who don't work out or choose not to. However, Frank does have a valid point only against envious people who wish they look like Stallone, Sly, that is. That's why I prioritize 3 hours per week to look like Stallone, Sly, because I have that passion and drive. It's been a commitment of mine since I was 18. I'm now 45. Working out fulfills an integral psychological personal need for me. And so when people tell me how lucky I am that I have the time to work out, either they generally want muscle definition or they are, as Frank alluded, lazy or absurdly hypocritical. In the words of Schwarzenegger, ultimately, if you really want something, you'll find a way to achieve it. Thanks, guys, for your podcast and all the preparation that goes into it each week. Keep pinching. You know why he said keep pinching? This is actually a deep cut. There was an Instagram video where Sly made the mistake and said keep pinching, and he went, yeah. It was cool. Sly said it, and he goes, oh, he was just tired or something, but he goes, keep pinching. And then he just, yeah. Okay. Now, those were fun. Thank you, Peter. And yeah, I agree. Of course. Yeah, we said that Frank works out and he looks great for his age. Absolutely. But shaming people that don't, that doesn't make sense. There's two different, everyone has a different life and different things they want out of life. Absolutely. Last thing. This one's really good. Like you thought the other emails are good. This one's amazing. Now I have to keep this person anonymous. Okay. So this is what they had to do. This is somebody who has emailed us many times before. And that's the only hint I'll give you. They said, in 2005, I worked on a film project with the son of Tom Noble, who had the odd credit of, quote, visual consultant on First Blood. Okay, you tracking? Now, Tom Noble has a son, and this son shared some information about Stallone with me. It's been nearly 20 years, so I'll try to recall the details. So back to Tom Noble, the father. So this is all this information is coming from the son, whose dad was, quote, the visual consultant on First Blood. Okay. So Tom Noble, an editor who later won an Oscar for Thelma and Louise, was brought on by Stallone after the infamous 3-hour train wreck edit. Have you heard about that train wreck of an edit? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is really interesting what we get from this account here. And some of it I already knew, but it pieces together some things. And I have had some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like desire to see this 3-hour cut. Because you watch First Blood, like, man, how come we just don't have more of that movie?
Right.
Well, after you listen to what this guy shared with one of our listeners, it gives you no idea of actually how Sly, it sounds like Sly was being a bit of a dick or had a bit of ego. That's really okay because he's a star. Yes, the listen to what the guy said about that 3-hour cut. And this gives you an idea of how good Stallone actually is at editing. Okay. The original editor, Joanne Chapman, is still credited under DGA rules. And she too has a visual consultant credit. But what that means is Sly edited the film, but it's not credited as such. These people were the editors, but it was Sly's edit. So because Stallone pressured into the death scene, initially didn't want to die at the end, even during filming. So Noble apparently re-edited the film, cutting a lot of the footage in the middle that portrayed Rambo alone in the woods, showing more fear and loneliness. There was talk of another crime scene in the woods.
Oh, God.
But Stallone's ego might have influenced the decision to minimize scenes of vulnerability. Additional scenes with the hunters and Galt's jacket and missing gun may have been cut, affecting the continuity in that section, which explains why you remember when he takes the jacket, but he doesn't go anywhere with that jacket. Stallone's ego seemingly played a role in toning down comedic elements, focusing just more on him. There might have been a longer beginning involving more scenes of Rambo wandering around Hope and speaking to the dead soldier's family, so just more scenes of that, aimlessly wandering around. Noble's son suggested that more Vietnam scenes were cut. There was like more Vietnamese scenes, possibly showing Rambo's weakness in a cheesy manner. Stallone may have wanted to avoid looking foolish. The longer edit supposedly featured a more talkative and twitchy Rambo when alone, constantly chattering to capture the book's vibe. However, still, because of the book, he's very losing it. However, Stallone pulled back on this to maintain the strong silent type. According to Noble's son, Stallone's performance in the original edit made Rambo come across as an awkward oddball. Now, remember that scene in the truck that he has with that soldier?
Yes.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, keep your eyes on the road. That's how accidents happen." Didn't that seem out of place, that scene?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Compared to how he is in the rest of the movie.
That's right. That's that oddball Rambo character that was in more of the film that we only see once. So that gives you an idea. That little interplay there is what you would have seen more of had it been the original edit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like the truck conversation hinted at a more awkward Rambo. There were references to a bad mustache, of flashback scenes, possibly leading to the bare minimum of the mustache that we see of Rambo in the final cut. Sly just looked bad, apparently, with the mustache in Vietnam. Rumors also circulated about a Lawrence of Arabia-inspired scene involving guards and truncheons, possibly implying a sexual element. Stallone, concerned about his image, may have obviously objected to such scenes. The Sun's account also hinted at the possibility of a filmed brothel scene. I think this has been confirmed. There was a filmed brothel scene.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that has been confirmed. I'm 90% sure that it was filmed where he was at a brothel. Was Stallone unwilling to be portrayed in a certain way? Some details might be hearsay, such as the Lawrence of Arabia reference. That's probably something homosexual. It suggested that the unintentional elements of the first edit contributed to Stallone's concerns about career suicide. Stallone's image and the potential portrayal of Rambo in vulnerable situations seemed to influence the final edit. Tom Noble, a British editor outside the U.S. Editing Union, was brought in without affecting the existing editor's contract. However, the reasons behind choosing Noble for First Blood still remain unclear. It's worth noting that Tom Noble, at 87 now, is still alive and editing. If you wish to explore more about the editing process, approaching him might provide some additional insights, but just keep my name out of it, he said. So, I don't know. Are we going to get the AFI director and Tom Noble on the show one day? I don't know. Stand by, folks. So what are your thoughts on some of that?
It would definitely make sense, like you said, the context of that other scene in the truck. But I could see, if it is true, I could see a lot of that cutting being smart, working out. Especially if they said there was another crying scene or something. That would have taken away from the later in the movie when he has his breakdown.
Yes, thank you. So we got a comment here from our Twitch stream. This is from Fitness Chick 4, who I highly doubt this is her. No offense, but nobody that looks like this girl is listening to our show.
Probably more likely that it's somebody with fat back.
Yeah, it might be somebody with fat back. But they did ask the question. So I don't think it's a chat bot because they're actually asking the question that sounds human because they're watching our show. The question was, are either of you guys military vets? Yes, I am currently in the military. On a military base right now as we speak. Dom just has no hair.
I went through the battle of hair loss, and that was tragic.
There you go. Fitness Chick 4, if you're real, we need more proof. Send us a picture. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
That's it. That's not too bad. Half an hour of the show.
That's very slim. That's a slim.
I know. We're gonna finish Rambo 5 now.
Frank Stallone's gonna see this and he's gonna do some outrageous shit, so we have something to talk about the next episode.
Yeah. I know he's gonna watch our episode. Oh yeah, it's actually more fun when they have stuff to talk about. Because we just have to keep bullying Frank. That's our goal, to bully Frank. No, you know what the funny thing? I actually do not. I think he's hypocritical. I think he can be mean to people. I think he's conceited. I think he is self-conflating. I think he thinks he's more than he is, but don't hate the guy.
I enjoy it. I was supposed to go to a Frank Stallone concert. He canceled it.
I would cancel it too if nobody showed up. It's embarrassing. All right. Yeah, I know it's been a while, folks. Do you remember where we last left off?
4 days.
4 days. Grace, you gotta tell me, where are the men that took her?
Who did they take? Your daughter?
Yeah. You gotta tell me, where are the men that took her? before they rape her.
There was a scene in First Blood that I had to cut because it implied that I got raped 50 fucking times.
Yeah. So my Stallone voice is getting worse with every episode. All right. So he asks, of course, where she is.
Where is she? Who are they?
The Martinez brothers.
Oh, here we go. He says, I can't do it without you. So he gets her to agree to help Rambo. And I love, we mentioned this last record. I love how Rambo says, I can't do this without you.
Like, why?
It's such a weird, like, we just met.
But you pieced me back together. I can't do this without you. I need a Troutman. I don't have a Troutman anymore.
Thank you.
All right, so she agrees to help Rambo. All right, so Rambo's in the truck. He gets the directions of where he needs to go. And I love this sequence coming up.
This is the strip club, right? The club?
Yeah, I think he's going to one of the... So he's got the piece of paper. Sorry. Does he not have a cell phone? I love how he's got the address from... Oh, what's the name of that reporter? I can't remember her name. Was that terrible? We forget her name.
That's pretty much the impact she has on this movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, so he gets he writes it down on a piece of paper, but how did he know which way to go? There's the house, it's right there. So maybe the paper has a drawing of the map. I don't know. Like go left.
What you don't know is he just drove for 12 hours in circles, like looking for this place.
Yeah, so funny. Anyway, so he's at the spot. He's got the address. It says whorehouse on the paper. With a big X next to it. Oh, whorehouse.
This is Xbox the spot.
So he parallel parks the truck. I love how we get an action-packed parallel parking scene. I don't know why
Why did that sequence make it? Like, why?
He looks at the address and then we get this like intense backup scene. That's funny. I'm gonna show you how to parallel.
Could have just cut to him getting out of the car right here, honestly.
Yeah. It was not necessary to show him how to parallel park the truck.
I want to prove that I can park really good because I've been questioned about it.
I gotta get a job on the ground.
Shoot side. It's just the Stallone impression just becomes a mumble after a while. You don't even have to say actual words.
Oh man, yeah. Donald says we need to do a 15 times compilation. No, I can't go through all these episodes again and listen. Did you see what he did there? So go back. Look, he's knocking on the door, the Hordor.
Hordor.
Hordor. Remember Hordor from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Hordor. It's so stupid. That was dumb. Did you think that was dumb? The whole review.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Now, looking back on it.
His name was Hodor because he was yelling, "Hold the door! Hold the door!" Imagine if he was like, I don't know, if he was like, open the door instead. My name is.
Open door.
Anyways, watch. So Rambo does a little bit of a stealth with his hair here. Watch. He
covers
up. Watch.
Covers his face.
He goes, oh, you remember that time when you cut my face and beat me up? I'm just going to tussle up my hair a little bit. Watch. Watch this. He goes to the door. Look. You see that?
And he's like keeping his head down too, so he's not recognized.
Look. All right, so someone comes to the door and goes, what do you want?
Quiero una chica. Tienes uno joven.
He goes, girl, do you have a young one? So he's shopping for girls.
Try to change his voice though. Like you think he would try to do like a voice.
This guy who's answering the door at the Hordor could very easily been one of the guys that like laid waste to this. This is a very memorable experience to have just 5 days ago. Like these Mexicans, they probably don't beat up old men on top of roofs very often. So like he's a white gringo who's the size of a Wolverine the comic character.
He probably should have wore his cowboy hat here, honestly.
Something, but he just tussles his hair and I'm gonna try to change my voice. He goes, do you have a girl? Do you have a young one? Oh my gosh. I certainly do. Come on in.
Come on in.
Their music's playing. There's the workers here, and yeah, they're checking out the new clientele coming in to get one of the young girls.
Tenemos opciones, ¿eh? Te va a gustar.
So what did the guy provide there? Like, I love how he gives him sorry. Let me just go back.
Condom.
Sorry, folks. It was a condom, but a piece of paper? Was it like instructions of what to do with the girl?
He's got to fill out a form before he has
Yeah, but does he have to sign a waiver? Like,
he's got to sign a waiver. Is that like a bottle? What was the other thing? Did he give him?
I don't know.
I don't even want to say it because it's making me sick.
Yeah. Let's pause it here. He's putting together some sort of goodie bag for the
gift package.
A gift bag. It's a condom.
Condom.
A piece of paper. Is that pills for more drugs or something?
That lube. I gotta say
that's definitely lube. Yeah, he's got lube. Condom. Oh, I think it's a napkin. I think it's a napkin to clean up the mess.
There's one napkin's gonna clean up the mess. Like, I don't know about the one napkin.
You realize how many times everybody? Do you realize how many times?
You realize this goes 50 times? I need 50 more paper towels. 49.
Oh yeah. Why does anyone listen to our podcast? Do you think there has been a podcast yet has broken down Rambo 5 the way we
think anybody, like, maybe there was a new listener at some point who was listening to an episode, and then when I did something like that, they just like, I've had enough. They shut it off.
Oh, there's people that have stopped listening to the show because of us. Absolutely. Oh, cool. A Rambo podcast. All right. Okay, so we have napkins, lube, condom. But what's that silver pack there? Is that just pills, baby?
Where is it?
Oh, it's on the counter underneath. Okay, so no, it's just oh, sorry. Wait, stop. Okay, sorry. Sorry,
No.
it happened so fast. Let me go back.
It all happens so fast.
The guy gives him condom, paper towel, lube. He goes to hand it to Rambo, and Rambo just bitch slaps him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want a condom. Natural.
I gave my love to Co. Oh, he hits him with a hammer. Sorry.
That's right. How did we forget he has a hammer in the scene?
This is, you know what we should do with this cut here? I'm going to do it. My next video edit project. I'm going to do stop. Hammer time. And play the hammer music behind this sequence here. Hammer. Look at that. 3 hammers to the faces. 3 guys got hammered to the face. That is awesome. He's, you guys are nailing those girls. Will nail this. So I love how he's going up the stairs with the hammer. There's blood dripping on the floor from the hammer. This movie is really a horror film. Have you thought about that?
Yes, it really is. You could edit it differently and put like a soundtrack and it's a horror movie.
You could put Michael Myers' face on like CGI Michael Myers' face onto Rambo.
What's scarier, Sylvester Stallone's face in this movie or Michael Myers?
That would be, man, if I was good at that kind of editing, I almost could and have a different musical cue.
Yeah.
So he's going up the stairs. Okay, so he's going up the stairs. And we've got a John here. I love how he's just finished. This guy, so there's a John here who's doing up his belt and pants. So he's just finished. He's just had the best time of his life. You know what I mean?
Used his napkin, just finished one napkin.
That's right. He's used his napkin. The girl's putting on her clothes, and Rambo's about to break it to stop the party.
This guy too. He's not that what he's doing is right, but like this guy's just minding his own business. Probably he's just
raping a girl 50 times.
He's just raping a girl 50 times. He paid his.
So Rambo did spare him the hammer. He hit him with his fist and knocked him cold out. Imagine if he just turns to the girl and hits her with the hammer.
I just do it too quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Go! Vete!
So he tells the girl to go, and she's showing that she's trapped psychologically, even though there's no guards at the door she could leave, but she goes, I can't, she's too scared. So Rambo goes down the whore hallway. And then
everything, the whore hallway,
the whore door. And he's about to grab one of the whore guards, and I think he just rips his face off here. So he grabs this guy's face, No, I think he's a guard. He's not a John. He's a guard. So he takes the hammer, one shot to the temple, another shot to the temple. Boy goes down, and then he's on another girl. Get out, Vete, get out. And she says the same thing. I can't. They'll kill me if I do. But I love how Rambo's like, fine. And he goes, God damn it. Another guard. Is that anyone that's a man, he's going to kill. It's just, if you're a man, you're dead. Another man shows up in the hallway. Hey, what's all this noise? So it's like, Rambo swings, gets the hammer, come back. Okay, before he hits Dom, where do you think he hits the guy? Where does Rambo hit the guy?
I think he's hit him in the dick. I don't remember, but I think he's hit him in the dick.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he hit him in the dick. Oh, man.
He got hammered on his hammer. Oh, man. I love it. Rambo didn't have to hit him there. That was not a kill shot. That was like, you're going to feel pain for a shot.
And this is why I don't go to whorehouses. This is the sole reason. Because you never know if somebody like this is going to come.
This is the only reason why I don't go. Rambo could come in at any moment. Okay, he hits him in the balls. Another whore is in the room. He's like telling her to get out. And she goes, wait, no.
These girls are very calm.
Okay, look what's happening here, folks. This girl's sitting on the bed. Rambo has taken the guy that he hammered in the hammer to. He's got his head on the bed next to the girl. He's telling the girl to leave. She says she can't, so Rambo's fine. Watch me smash his head in with it.
They are way too calm, though. They all just sit there just while he does all this.
Watch this. Oh, he doesn't do it. He spares it. He spares the guy, so the girl
dick was enough.
That's right. Rambo palms into another room, and there she is. She's sleeping peacefully. Dom?
I don't know about that.
Asleep.
How many times
did they do it? Rambo, did they do it?
How many times? Just tell me how many times.
How many times? That's all I need to know is how many.
Was it in between 40?
So he's waking her up, and now she thinks she's being assaulted again, but it's her uncle.
It's Uncle Rambo.
We know what's coming up. We'll speak to it later, I guess. But you could almost argue the death is sweet release. I don't know what kind of trauma she would live with. Let's be honest. I'm not saying, obviously, people that go through that. Now, this is a serious time. We make fun of all these. It's just a movie. No one is really hurt in this movie, blah, blah, blah. But people who unfortunately go through this kind of trauma, you wonder, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you live with it. It must be horrific to be a survivor.
Innocence was robbed.
Yeah. Now back to making fun. Okay.
No one was raped 50 times in the making of this
Nobody
movie.
was raped. Yeah, that's right. This is a disclaimer at the end. Nobody was raped 50 times. Oh, so she's got the same V cut on her cheek.
Yes.
Look at that. And look at the needle. How many times she's got the needle in the arm? Like it's just like it looks like ground beef, folks. All right, so Rambo's gonna take her out of this place, of course. Her arm looks like hamburger meat. Okay, Rambo, let's go. Come on, we're gonna take you home.
You're home. You're safe now.
Carries her out. So that's a fun little sequence. All those guards are dead or maimed.
Yes.
Gabrielle's in the truck. Rambo's like, I did a pretty good job parking the truck, though, right?
You see the parallel parking I did?
Yeah. I couldn't get a job parking cars back in Washington State. So now the Mexican cartel, of course, is there at the site, and they're saying, no one saw anything. And now the brothers are talking to each other, and the one brother, cocaine brother's going, I told you to kill that guy. That's enough, Vito. It was him. Only an old man would come back for some cut-up girl. We'll find him and kill him.
No, 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 no. A mí me valen verga ellos.
I don't care about him, says Vito.
Fue culpa
This is your mess.
tuya. Es que chingados quieres.
And the boss brother says, what the hell do you want?
Que la que sigue.
He says, next time, do what I tell you, bro.
Me hagas caso, carnal.
Oh, sounds like younger brother wants to be boss.
Jalar.
Back to work. What are the girls supposed to do? All right. Anyone want to? I can't keep saying it. The girls are just sat in the hallway. Oh, I guess we're going back to work. All right. So mob boss brother is mad. He's like,
mad.
Can't believe his company or his business has been infiltrated by that old man. Now Rambo's driving home. Look at this awesome CGI, like blue screen driving. Look at this. Look at the road here, Dom. Look at that.
Why couldn't they get these shots for real? Though? I don't
I
understand.
don't know. It is so weird that they couldn't afford. I've seen real-time driving in films. It's not that hard to do.
Somebody could have sat in the back seat and just filmed it.
I know. Yeah, it's weird. Look at it. Do you want to play I Spy with My Little Eye? Or?
You want to look for punch buggies?
Hey, look, we got the same scar. That's going to be a good story for later.
You came back.
We're gonna get you back. Get you back home.
I'm sorry.
No, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything at all.
She should have listened to Rambo. I'm not going to lie to you. That's
Probably shouldn't have went to Mexico.
Yeah, word of advice is, you remember that girl that set her up? I forget the character's name.
Mhm.
She actually got nominated for worst supporting actress on the Golden Raspberries.
Did she?
Yeah, she was horrible. Like, you got to admit.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
You go home and everything's gonna be good. It's gonna be all right.
No, little Marie, it ain't all
I got
right.
this back for you.
Little Marie, it ain't all right. He said, "Oh, I got the bracelet. I got this back for you. Remember when you had this on your wrist?"
Remember?
Rambo's really big on jewelry.
Mhm, he really is.
Necklaces, bracelets, watches.
Gabriel, I need you to keep your eyes open.
It's very true. Side story here. My son, one of my sons, when he was about 5 years old, 6 years old, he actually has a condition where he doesn't bleed. I forget what the term is. When you cut yourself open, it doesn't bleed out. It's like
Wow.
it's like automatic. It's called, what's it called? It's when it's really weird. So if he cuts his finger, it doesn't drip blood.
That's so strange.
It is weird. So he fell down the stairs outside because I pushed him.
Because he was mouthing off. So
That's right. He little bastard deserved it. No, he felt, jeez. Oh man, I'm gonna get child services. They're gonna cut that.
Definitely.
See, Frank's gonna cut. Frank Slow's gonna cut that clip. I got him. Anyways, no, he fell down the stairs on our outside patio, and he hit his head. It was like cement stairs, and he hit his head on the stair, and it split his head open. So that his forehead here had a circle the size of a golf ball, and his skin went whoop. And it was open. There's a gaping wound that didn't bleed. It didn't
That's
bleed.
crazy.
And so we took him to the hospital. So he was in the car and he was like this in the backseat of the car, just like Gabrielle. Like he was doing, like, Caleb, you got to stay awake, man. I'm going to clap my hands. Stay awake, man. Don't lose consciousness. Yeah. Anyways, to this day, he's 17 now. And he's got a nice battle scar right here where he gets stitches.
Wow.
Yeah. That just reminded me of telling her to stay awake. So this girl doesn't have the fortitude of my son.
Maybe if she was as strong as your boy.
That's right. If she was as strong as my boy, this would.
Keep your eyes open. Let's talk about something. I remember in Great Briar, when every event you were in, every competition, you'd win everything. I remember you were just about 11 years old. You won 5 events in one day. It's really something. You'll be able to stay with me. You can do it. We're gonna be home soon. I'll take care of you. You got so much life left.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
Nah, not that much. Slut.
You can almost clip that together. You got so much life left that cue in the Curb Your Enthusiasm music. You got so many things you got to do.
What do, Nick?
We got so many things to do, Vic. This part reminds me too of when he's doing like talking about the horses. It reminded me of when Rocky was reading Adrian the poem. Remember when you was skates? When he was on a date and I was giving you lip and I wouldn't let you slip.
Electric.
Yes. Remember that time that you were riding horses? It was
Electric. I don't want to remember. You had the good times. I had the bad times.
What are we doing? Imagine Paulie's in the back seat.
You don't want to remember, Rocco? I can't do this anymore, Rocco.
Hey, Rocky, remember when Gabrielle left you?
She didn't leave me, Paulie. She died in the car.
Oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. Oh.
You got so many things you gotta do. So many things. When I came home a long time ago, you were so young. Gabrielle, you were so young. I was lost. I was lost, man. And then I met you. And I saw something that I didn't think I'd ever see anymore. Good in this world, some innocence, and I had a family that I never thought I'd ever have. And raising you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I thank you for that. Thank you. You're like the...
He's about to say, you're like the what? The daughter I never had. That's what he's about to say. And look, it's a sad look. It sucks. All right. And I was actually surprised. So she cries a tear, holds his hand, and she fades away to death. Okay. So just as Rambo is about to say, you're like the daughter I never had. It's heartbreaking because Rambo never got to have a family. The war destroyed him. The war made him the animal that he is. And she reminded him of peace and goodness in the world, and there's things worth fighting for. And I admit, I'm surprised she died. What are your thoughts?
I was the same way. I remember when I saw it in theaters. It was shocking because I didn't think, especially he gets her back, he's driving her back. You could see an alternate version of this movie where she doesn't have to die. Honestly, it could. Yeah,
everything could have happened. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I totally agree that had she lived, let's say there's an alternate film version where she lives, and because there's a scene coming up where Rambo sends Maria away.
Right.
Because he knows because Rambo right now knows the cartel's coming for him. He knows that right now too. Like he's aware that they have his information. So his license. They're coming for him. He knows that. So everything in the film that happens after here could have still happened. The action sequences, all that stuff.
Yeah, he could have sent them both away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That Gabrielle goes in the truck with Maria until he takes care of things on the home front there. I will give credit where credit's due. It's a brave choice to have an actual proper death in this film.
I agree.
We get it in every film to a degree, like Galt's death in the first film. The second film was Coe's death, which was big. The third film was the little boy got shot, but he didn't die. But who did? Wasn't there a lot of the villagers that died? You could say. The fourth film, the missionaries dying, of course.
Right.
And then, of course, so there's always been some sort of casualty that is a good person that dies around Rambo in each film. Of course, the fourth film, Troutman's death, just by old age still.
I think it also works. Then later on, we get a more unhinged Rambo.
That's just it. I was just going to say it just now at this point, you're absolutely correct. We could imagine that Rambo still would have been a killing machine, yes, but he's so animalistic and psycho.
But what do you put on the doors?
Yeah, like everything was just. It was more than just. It went beyond the First Blood type traps.
Right.
These were meant to actually just absolutely destroy people. Yeah. We'll see how Rambo takes this death here.
Gabrielle? Gabrielle.
Oh!
You're so good at that.
Gabrielle. No, don't do it. Gabrielle.
Now, you would think Rambo should know first aid. You could still do first aid.
Something.
So if you honestly, folks, if you have an overdose, your heart stopped. That's all that's happened. Your heart has stopped because of a drug overdose. You can kickstart your heart again. That's why that song by Motley Crue actually exists. Like when Nikki Sixx overdosed, he actually overdosed, but his heart was kickstarted again, and he came back. So that's what he was on. He was like, well, it's just it. She's overdosed on heroin. Look, she might be too far gone, but she was enough that she was talking and stuff, and you could argue maybe her heart was a broken heart too, a bit of a physiological death too. She's so broken inside. But Louise brought up a good point.
She's busted. She's not a virgin anymore.
Oh, gee. I might have to edit that part out.
You just need Burt Young. You just need Burt Young in the back of the truck saying that. She's not a virgin anymore.
Yo, Rocco, I can't do this no more. I can't do this watching stuff no more. Oh, man. So Donald brings up a good point. If the film built Rambo saving her, it would have just been a repeat of what came before. This was a pleasant surprise. I agree. Mm-hmm. Her dying was amazing.
Her dying was a pleasant surprise.
But I know what you mean there, Don. It was, because of all the things when I saw this in the theaters for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, I'm surprised. Yeah. It's not a gift surprise.
I remember like tapping my brother, and I was like, what, they fucking killed her?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was coming like that. For a minute, I thought that was actually in the movie. And I was like, what? Is this the fucking extended cut that you added howls?
Oh my gosh.
I want a shot of the truck, like that view of just the exterior of the truck, and I just want to hear, oh!
You almost could superimpose the audio from Rocky 3 in the scene. Right here when he's got his head on the steering wheel. So for those who might have missed it with our audio version, we're sorry. Rambo says, why not me? Because it's called Rambo and not Gabrielle.
You got a whole lot of people to kill still, Rambo.
Oh!
He says, yeah, that's my one.
They would have. They're hinting at his death by saying, why not me? That's a bit of a hint at his death. But you're right. That would have been a good sequence right there with the camera panning away. So now Rambo's now driving the truck back to the farm. Maria, I got good news and bad news.
All right, he said you wanted it back, right? But you didn't say what kind of condition she had to be in.
Look at the bright side. Okay? I got her.
We get to bury her. That's the bright side.
Yeah, we have her. She's not missing, right? She's right here. You can say goodbye. Right?
Nobody's going to hurt her anymore.
That's right. There was not a 51 time. It was stop. I'm confused about that part. He just drove through a fence. Oh, it's the border because he doesn't have his driver's license right now.
Okay.
He's illegally driving across the border.
Oh, okay. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Because remember they have his license. Oh, there's Maria. At this point, Maria's coming to the stairs. Oh, great. John's back. Great.
I see somebody. Looks like there's somebody in the passenger seat.
Oh, Gabrielle's sleeping. She must be tired from all that heroin. That's adorable. Let's see how Rambo breaks the news. Good news and bad news? What's this week?
Just a walk. His body language.
Yeah. That's a good artistic choice. They spare us the conversation. They just pan away and they hug each other.
He should have just got out, dropped to his knees, and she would have got the point.
Oh man. So she runs back to the truck to see Gabrielle. Rambo's standing there. I should have parked the truck closer. I didn't realize she was going to run back to the truck. I should have parked it closer.
It seemed like at first he was trying to have her avoid seeing the body.
Yeah.
But then he kind of just gave up on that.
You're right. That's probably why he did park it away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she just looks terrible right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great shot there. Here, the grave. Is that his dad's grave? Do you think there too?
Yeah. Who's that? There's 2 other graves, right?
Probably his parents.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
He's looking at his work there, building the grave. Oh, I did a pretty good job.
He's gonna pull the chair out of the tree now and sit.
He brings up the newspaper. All right, Gabrielle, what do we got going on today? Walks to the grave. So he hung a medal? Is that a medal that he hung on the cross, or is that some sort of religious symbol? Or
yeah, I don't know what that is. Some school award or something. I don't know.
Oh, it might be like the horse championship stuff.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. That's a lame ribbon. She won 5 events and she just got that lousy ribbon. Come on,
it's just a piece of plastic, like painted gold.
Some of the writing on here. Love forever, never forget. Paz amor, never forget. More peace, you're in my heart. How many times was it? Oh man, we're terrible. We are absolutely horrible.
Terrible human beings. Fictional characters.
Yes, Donald's doing a very good job trying to bring us back to Earth here with our show. Thank you, Donald. You're much more mature than we are.
We're laughing at stuff.
Donald says Rambo's "Why Not Me" was heartbreaking. We'd all give our lives for our kids. Yeah, absolutely. I know. That's why I laugh at this stuff. Is because it is too much. I have kids. I couldn't even fathom. So when Rambo goes on his revenge kill, you totally cheer for that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Thankfully, it's just a movie. Oh, okay. He's walking away from the grave the same way he did in Rocky Balboa.
Same exact shot. We did it.
Imagine if
we did it. Gabrielle, we did it.
She was a cutie. She got Maria looking at the graduation photo. She's packing. Time for her to leave. She's getting her goods out. She's taking all her stuff out of the house that she doesn't want blown up. That's especially.
Right. What was this conversation like? You got to get the fuck out of here right now.
I think so. Probably, like she would understand. Rambo's saying, "Look, Maria knows Rambo's past. She knows exactly what Rambo's doing. I think there's no question. I think Rambo's like, they're coming, and I will be here to meet them. But you need to get out of here. You need to get out of Dodge."
Extraño mucho.
She said, "I miss her.
I want you to stay with your sisters. There's nothing for you here. Nothing for me here.
Where will you go?
I'm just gonna move around. Like always."
Full circle.
Yep.
Will I see you again?
This movie didn't do very well. There's not going to be a part 6.
I don't think so. Depending upon box office numbers, sometimes they contribute the numbers of the rentals and stuff, but I don't know.
It depends what streaming's like. Maybe It's a Long Road, the Rambo series podcast will bump the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sure.
She knows that's a no.
That's a lie.
But he doesn't want to say it. Because I don't even know if he thinks he's going to live too, right? So.
I won't miss this.
They hug each other. Have we seen Rambo hug? We saw him kiss Ko. He kissed Ko, but they didn't even hug each other, did he? He held her after she was shot. I think it's the first legit hug we've seen of him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Voy a estar triste hasta que me muera.
She goes, I'll be sad until I die. Oh, I can take care of that for you right now. It's been a while since I've cut somebody's head off.
Siento como
I feel like she
si me hubieran
says,
arrancado el
my heart
corazón.
has been cut out. Ooh, okay.
Now that you say it, that just gave me an idea.
I like that. Now, I know if this was a movie, that would be a perfect foreshadow, but this is real life.
Travel safe.
But she drives, her car blows up over one of the mines. Like, Rambo's like, oh man, I should have waited till she left before I started planting the mines. You got ahead of schedule.
Yeah. And then it shows him by the grave again, just with another grave. That same
That's right.
sequence.
She's buried again. Then he walks away slowly.
The writing on the cross just says, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry. I forgot about the one landmine. I'm sorry. Donald asks the question. We'll have to find out next episode. We're about to end. He goes, did Rambo go back and kill Gabrielle's friend somewhere near? You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. There's still a lot of movie left, folks. We're going to stop there. So I believe the next sequence is him doing some of his weapon prep, I think.
Oh, yeah. This is my favorite part of the movie.
The heart cutter, the heart stomper, whatever that knife was called. Yeah. That's fun episode, guys. Again, we apologize for the short Frank segment. We told you it's not our fault. The same way when he gives us stuff, it's not our fault that we have to do it. And it's also not our fault when he doesn't give us stuff. It's up to Frank. It's not up to us.
It felt strange not having as long as a Frank segment today.
It did. I know. If anyone thinks we are bowling Frank, let us know, and
we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, we'll tell you. We'll keep doing it. But we want to hear your reasons why you consider it actual bowling. Okay. That bullying means Frank is affected by it adversely and his life is ruined for it. Now, he has posted much less since our Frank segments have gotten more popular. Because remember, we did a whole segment. If you haven't checked out our bonus episode, we did a whole 1 hour plus episode on Frank Sloan when he was on the podcast with Mario Lopez. That one had one of our biggest numbers in recent years.
Did it? Nice.
Yeah. It was a very.
What does that tell you? A whole Frank-centric episode.
So,
some good numbers,
actually, huh? It was actually had more downloads than the previous Rambo episode.
Ooh, what is that telling you, Ryan?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know if I can keep doing it. It's exhausting. It's like reviewing the same film over and over again. You know what I mean? It's the same things. That's all it takes. That's all you got to do. That's you're fat and you're lazy and America's great. And all right. Okay. All right. So send us an email if you haven't already. We got some great ones this week. Thank you for the behind the scenes stuff. Keep your fingers crossed that we can get George Jr. on before he passes away. I hope we can get him on. What did I say? He's 91, Dom. I'm not sure. Come on. I hope we get him on. Yana, we do appreciate that. If that, in all seriousness, that would be an amazing. The stories that he could tell us about Frank, that'd be amazing. Yeah, but other than that, Dom, this episode's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off. It wasn't my podcast. You asked me to co-host, Ryan. I didn't ask you.